Hello and merry time zone friends, it's Matt here today bringing you a demo today courtesy of Choose Wisely Festival 2025. Today we are going to be playing Devil's Liminal, which is a horror visual novel wherein we have to fight the demon that has control of our soul to make sure that we save our future. It has a really gorgeous black and white retro feel to it and the music is such a vibe. I'm looking forward to introducing you guys to this one, so without further ado, grab your covers and settle in. If you don't know what Choose Wisely Festival is, I will leave all of the information in the description. Please do go and check it out. It was an event that ran from the 8th to the 15th of December, hosted by Studio Effler, and it's a celebration of branching narrative games and games that put a lot of emphasis onto choices mattering in the game. The event has currently finished, but I promised that I would get this video out, and it's a little bit late, but I'm still looking forward to this a lot, and I really want to get this out. So we're going to have a look at the Steam page, look at the trailer together, and then we're going to get into it. But first of all, big thank you to Studio Interlude for sending me this. I really appreciate being able to play this. I am really looking forward to it. So let's get over and check out the trailer.
Huh? I've never considered someone my friend.
I feel like I'm not in control of my life anymore.
Listen, I need your help.
Margo.
Can you stay with me until then?
Thanks for listening to me earlier.
Help!
A Demon's Pact, A Final Summer. Yuri horror visual novel inspired by Azor's folklore. Developed and published by Studio Interlude, this game is set in 2000s Arizona. It looks like we're going to have a couple of different people to meet. We have a childhood friend, we have somebody who knows things about the occult. If you have a look at the Steam page, I want to scroll through, you get some information about the characters, but we are not going to read that right now. We are going to save that for getting into the game and learning about them there. But I love the art style of this. I'm so here for this kind of pixel art kind of graphics. It's very cool, very retro, and I'm so here for the vibe check. As I say, this is set in the 2000s, so I really feel like the art style kind of matches that timeline of when this is set as well. So I am stoked for this one. I think it looks gorgeous. The music is amazing. I'm here for the voice acting. So let's get into it and check out some of the settings, and then we're going to get into a game. So in terms of settings, we have very few options here. Just the basics, which is perfectly fine for the demo. We have our display, windowed, and full screen. The windowed mode is smaller than 1920 1080. I would maybe like to see a resolution option here, but at the same time, I'm okay with it as long as we have a windowed mode because it means I'm able to adjust it for filming and content. I don't really know what rollback side is, but it was set automatically to disable, so I'm going to leave that where it is. We have our skip ability for unseen text after choices and transitions, and vibration enabled or disabled, so I imagine you can probably play this with a controller and have some haptic feedback, so it does seem like it has some controller support. The CG text box style, we have hidden and visible, and we can't see a visible difference in the menu, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to look. We'll keep it on hidden right now, and we can always check it for visible later. And the only thing we have after that is text speed and auto forward time. I'm going to leave that as is. We can change that into the gameplay as and when we get there if we need to. What I do appreciate though is in audio we have so many individual sliders, so we can check the music volume here. I'm going to temporarily stop it just so you can see as you go through. If you want to test the volume, you can have it on all the time, or you can change that up, which I love, appreciate. And we also have test buttons here for the other sliders. So we have our sound effect volume, which we can test, and that will just be these little noises. I'm gonna put it to about here, I think, because I want it to be audible still when I'm speaking, but at the same time I don't want it to be absolutely drown us out, so I love that. And I have already adjusted the voice volumes down here.
I get that.
And we can test these and press all these different buttons.
I think.
And it will give various different sounds for the different voice actors. So if you find like one character is slightly louder or quieter than the others, then we can adjust it. The only other things we have available here in the menu are the gallery, which obviously right now is going to be empty. As we play, this will fill. And then we have some information in the about, so if you want to know what the description of the game is, that's all going to be in here as well. And I will just do a real quick show to show you that it has the content warnings as well. This stuff is also written on Steam as well, so if you want to know the mature content warnings, it is all going to be there as well. And as usual, this is a horror game. Horror games do tend to have content warnings, so always just be aware of it. I don't like to look too much into it in case I spoil the story for myself, but if you do want to know more, you can go and look at that. These are the general themes here if you want to read through any of these. We do have some themes here to do with the occult, poverty, anxiety, abuse, and things like that. So if any of those things are going to be a problem for you, this is your warning right now to let you know that this is the kind of thing we're going to see. And if you do want to see more, it does say more information here. So as and when we go into this game, just be aware there are going to be these things, and if you want to see it in more detail, if you have the demo, you can go in and have a look at these descriptions as well. That being said, the only other thing available here is our help button, which will tell us all of our different keys. I will go through and figure those out as we play, but for right now there is nothing else to look at on this page, so I'm going to get into a new game, we're going to play through it, and as I say, big thank you to Studio Interlude for allowing us to play this. They contacted us about this as part of the event. I'm really stoked to be able to play this one, even if it is coming out after the event. Please still go and have a look at it later on if you enjoy what you see today. Let's get into a new game now. Okay, this is a horror game. It features difficult subjects. Do you want to continue? Yes, I'll view the content warning. I appreciate that they've given us this option off the bat. I'm going to say yes, I'm totally okay with it. It has already been decided. What you choose does not matter. 1950s. A young man lay in the New York snow. Moments before, his face had been smashed in by a tire iron. He could feel the cold on his raw, bruised skin. He swallowed. Blood had collected in his throat from his nose and mouth. It was becoming harder and harder for him to breathe. Would he be able to get up and get home? Would it be the cold or choking in his own blood that killed him first? In this moment, as he tried to ignore the chill climbing up his hands and feet, he thought of his favourite opera. He once managed to sneak in and see it during a Sunday matinee. It opened with an aging man on his deathbed, wondering the value of his work, and in his last moments before death, a demon came to him and promised him a second chance. Youth, a new life, and a beautiful young woman. As the man thought about the opera, he wondered, if these were his last moments, would a demon come to him? Could he ask for a second chance, a new life? The things he could do if he wasn't trapped by money and circumstance. He woke up. With some difficulty, he sat up and brushed the thin layer of snow off himself. The demon never came to him. Oh, interesting start. And now we're in the 2000s, so 50 years later after someone's head gets smashed in. Interesting way to start. I am here for it. June 7th. That's my birthday. Sunday night. Margot lay in bed. It was weird being back in her old bedroom after 2 years. She hadn't expected how much she would adjust to living in a dorm on the other side of the state, but now it was her home that felt alien to her. She rolled over and examined the art on her walls. Things she had drawn when she was a freshman in high school. Her old art was a little embarrassing to her, but it did serve as a nice reminder of how much she had improved. She'd be starting college soon. She wondered if one day she would be embarrassed by whatever art she made in college too. For now, tomorrow would be her first day at work. She felt incredibly lucky to find a summer internship at her hometown. Apparently, they'd been having a hard time finding recent high school graduates who were interested in social work. They told her it was the job that people were uninterested in, but Margot thought it might be that people wanted to leave town as soon as possible, like she did. Her phone started buzzing. The text surprised her. She hadn't told anyone she was home yet. Lee, hey, heard you're back in town. Want to hang out tomorrow? Respond now or text back later. We might as well respond now. We're just sitting in our room not doing anything right now, so I'm going to text him right now. Margot considered whether or not she should respond. She's trying to make an effort to be more outgoing. It couldn't hurt to catch up with Lee, right? Lee, sure, let's try to plan something tomorrow. I've got to head to bed now, though. Now that she had at least given him an explanation, it felt safe to go to sleep. June 8th, Monday morning. I love this transition, by the way, of the pixels fading in and out. It's so pretty. It's so simple and yet really, really effective. Even though she went to bed pretty early, Margot still felt exhausted when her alarm went off. She lay there for a while, staring at the ceiling, listening to the sound of the news on the television in the living room. After her snoozed alarm went off a second time, she heard her mother knock on the door and walk in. Margot turned to look at her. Are you up for work?
Yes.
Margot didn't really move from the bed. She doubted she was convincing. It's pretty hot out today, over 110.
Oh, in that case, could I get a ride to work?
No, I'm rushing out the door as it is.
Okay.
Once her mother stepped back out, She sat up and started rifling around her dresser drawers for an outfit. She wondered what it'd be like to walk to work. Margot's work wasn't too far from home, but the Arizona summer heat was oppressive. Hot air rippled off the asphalt in the distance. Margot imagined a scene from a Western movie. In the distance, a shape broke the pattern of ripples. There was some sort of heap in the middle of the road.
Huh?
Margot narrowed her eyes in an effort to get a better look. What was it? Once she realised she was looking at an animal, she rushed forward. She'd only seen a cat outside once before. She knew they wouldn't survive long in this weather. After leaning over to see that there weren't any injuries, Margot crouched down to see if the cat was still breathing. The cat's belly slowly rose and fell.
I hope I can move her without hurting her.
Margot knew at minimum that the cat needed to get out of the road and needed water. In the businesses near her new job, she remembered seeing a veterinarian office. Margot never had a pet before. I wasn't sure how the veterinarian office worked. Would they accept walk-ins? She took off her jacket and swaddled the animal. Right, we are at work now. Margot hurried to work after dropping off the cat at the veterinarian. She was afraid her boss would think it was a lousy excuse for being late to her first day. Fortunately, she seemed to be understanding. The start of the day consisted of orientation for the new summer interns and being shown around the veterans' home. It was a retirement home for elderly and disabled military veterans. After lunch and meeting more of the staff, the day was almost over. Margot's new boss waved her over for a chat. I noticed your eyes during lunch. Do you have heterochromia?
Yeah.
Ooh, I hadn't even noticed that. Okay, that's such a cool little detail. You can actually see it in the photo. It's just one dark eye and one light coloured eye. Very pretty. Thank you. I don't think I've met anyone with heterochromia before. Well, anyway, you're moving to California for college soon, right? Yes, in August. What do your parents think about you moving so far from home? Oh, it's fine. You're pretty brave. I ended up staying in Arizona for college. I wasn't able to live that far away from my family when I was 18. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends say that. What do you think you'll study in school? I'm not sure yet. Well, I hope you'll enjoy working in the social services department here. I'm happy to answer any questions about being a social worker. After talking a bit more about the veterans' home and the residents, it was time for Margot to head out. Just as Margot reached the doors in the lobby, she felt her phone vibrate. I'm still free if you are, smiley face. Lee has remembered. Margot felt flustered. With everything that happened that morning, she completely forgot to text Lee. She started fumbling with her phone to type a quick response. Suddenly, she felt a bump and her phone clattered to the ground.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
It's okay. I shouldn't have been standing by the door.
A stranger crouched down to pick up Margot's phone. She handed it back to Margot with a smile. Don't worry about it. Have a good night. Margot quickly shook off the embarrassment and got back to texting. Meet up now or another time. I feel like it's better that we go now if it's going to be a socially draining thing. We've just finished work. We're still our head is still in work mode. If we sit down and we have like a cup of tea and we just start getting comfy, we're not going to want to get back up and go outside again. So let's just go now. I will see you later, Lee. Sorry, it was really busy this morning and forgot. I can meet up now. Let's meet in the library. This looks very, very cool. It had been a while since she'd been to the library in her neighbourhood. Sometimes Margot would meet up with her friend Nikki and walk around the desert, then stop at the library to have snacks. On the weekends, she would sometimes come alone to read comics. Sitting there again felt nostalgic. Lee arrived a moment after she did. He looked exactly the same as she remembered. Hey, good to have you back in town. Margot smiled at him.
Thanks.
He sat down next to her and pulled a pack of cigarettes from his pocket.
Huh?
I thought you quit. It's hard. I keep starting again when I get stressed. She nodded a little as he lit one. So, where have you been the past couple of years? There's a bunch of different rumours. It's like we were talking one day, then you dropped off the face of the earth. A bunch of different rumours. I wonder what the rumours are. I kind of want to know. I mean, we could tell him we've been in school, but I feel like that's an easy conversation to come later. Just tell me what the rumours are and then I can confirm if any of them are true.
What?
Rumours? Like what? Lee laughed and rubbed his neck, unsure how to put it delicately for Margot. Just dumb stuff. I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, come on, let me know. I'd rather hear it from you than someone else. Mostly stuff like you're some kind of delinquent now. That you dropped out, you're pregnant, you're a lesbian, all kinds of stuff.
Seriously?
People are still saying that stuff? Why? Bored losers. There was yelling from the parking lot. Margot and Lee looked up to see what it was. Uh-oh, it's our mum! Margot! Margot's mother had pulled up near them.
Huh?
Mom? I've been looking everywhere for you. Let's go. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Margot turned to Lee and gave him an embarrassed smile. He shrugged and put out his cigarette on the bench. See you around. Well, that wasn't much of a conversation. Why is Mum rushing us home? They both got up. Lee gave Margot a quick hug. Yeah, see you. In the car, Margot looked out the window. Margot's mother stared ahead at the road. I've been looking everywhere for you. Yes, so you said. I'm not sure what the rush is about, but okay.
What?
What do you mean? You weren't at work. I thought you were busy. You didn't say you were going to pick me up. Well, I was off work earlier than expected. So we went home and we met a friend? That's a little bit much, Mom. Okay. Tuesday morning. Margot abruptly woke up. It wasn't her alarm, but a phone call that jolted her awake. Miss Silver? We have an update about the cat you brought in. She was severely dehydrated, but has made a full recovery. Oh, that's great. You able to find out if she has an owner? We didn't find a chip. Do I need to pick her up then? Margot didn't know what to do now. She couldn't keep a cat. Yes, we can. Take it. It's ours now. Normally, yes. But we can't find her.
What?
Margot wondered if she was still asleep. We will still need you to come in to pay for her treatment. What do you mean? How did you lose her? Ma'am, either way her medication costs money. Okay, I'll pay for it when you find her. Margot hung up and rolled back over to sleep until her alarm went off. Then there was a knock on her door. Her mother walked in. Are you up for work? She would not be able to wait for her alarm. Yes. It's pretty hot out today. It's over 110. Margot pulled her sheet up further, as though she'd be able to squeeze out a little more rest that way. Same as yesterday, huh? Do you want a ride? I mean, it would be nice if we have aircon in the car to get out of the heat, but at the same time, I feel like Mum's kind of just like in our business. I'll accept the ride in because maybe we can like take an extra 2 minutes in bed.
Sure.
All right, tell me when you're ready. Her mother sighed. You really need to learn how to drive. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not being able to drive. I can't drive. I just walk or take public transport. Not a problem with me. When Margot arrived at work, Erica sat down for her quick meeting. I did some thinking last night on what I'd like you to work on. I think it'd be a good idea for you to help me organise the resident files. She gestured over to the filing cabinet, cartoonishly stuffed with files poking out from open drawers. Obviously, the information in this is confidential, but take a look at some of the documents. I think seeing some of those files would give you a better idea of what the residents are like. Then, maybe you can spend some time with them.
Sure.
Where do you want me to start? Erica set about showing Margot the files and what needed to be done. Once Margot got into the rhythm, Erica stepped out and left her alone in the office. Margot was glad it would be a quiet day. She realised she felt nervous about the prospect of talking to residents. What would they have to talk about? A knock at the door interrupted her thoughts.
Hey!
Excuse me?
Oh,
Margot looked up and put on a professional smile. How can I help you? I'm trying to find my grandma's room, 203? That's up on the second floor. Want me to show you? Yeah, sure. They walked to the elevator and rode to the second floor. Margot couldn't help looking at her. Where had they met before? When she ran into us and threw her phone on the floor. Didn't we bump into each other yesterday? Margot realised she'd been staring and quickly turned away. Yeah, sorry about that. Don't sweat it. Did you start working here recently? I haven't seen you before. Yeah, I started yesterday. I'm just here for the summer. Oh, cool. Well, I'm planning on having lunch here. Want to sit together? Sure. She seems pleasant enough. You know, her grandma's here. We can get to know her grandma, who's one of the people we're working with. We've shown her to the room. We can speak to her about the resident, and we can speak to her about her, find out what their name is. So let's go.
sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah!
Margot wasn't sure if the girl was serious about her lunch invitation. Worst case, she figured she could sit by herself and do some drawing. After grabbing her tray, she looked around. There were various other visitors and staff scattered around. Sure enough, she saw the girl sitting at a table in the corner of her room. The girl looked up and waved at Margot. Margot walked over and sat across from her at the table.
Hey, Margot! I wasn't sure if you were gonna join me. I came by to visit my grandma by myself today, so I was kind of dreading having lunch alone. She usually likes to nap around noon.
Hey,
What's up?
what's your name?
Oh, sorry. I got ahead of myself.
The girl extended her hand out to Margot. They shook. Margot felt something like deja vu.
I'm back. I'm staying with my mom for the summer, so I'm trying to find people to hang out with.
I get that.
Oh yeah, you mentioned you're just here for the summer too. Yeah, I just graduated from high school. Now I'm just working until college starts. Me too. Well, I'm helping my mum with work. I don't know if that counts. Sure it does. So your grandma lives here? What did she do in the military? She was in the Army Nurse Corps. She's pretty cool. I chatted for the rest of lunch. To Margot, Beck seemed so animated and excited to meet her. As they talked, Margot started to feel a little less afraid of being home. Margot knew she was asleep, but she still felt present, aware. Was this a lucid dream? She'd read about them before, but she couldn't remember if she'd ever had one before. She sat up in her bed. How funny. The first time she has a lucid dream, and it takes place in her bedroom. A girl sat at the foot of Margot's bed.
Listen,
She didn't recognize her.
I need your help.
My help? What's going on?
I am trapped. I'll show you how to help me.
Why me?
What? Okay. June 10th. Was that a dream? Or was that actually real and we were just really, really sleepy? Interesting. Margot woke up groggy. She wondered why she rarely felt rested and awake in the morning. Maybe this time it had to do with that strange dream. She rolled onto her back and stretched out. Reaching out her hands, she felt something. Oh, Kitty! What? She looked up to see a cat curled up in the corner of her bed. She was the same one from earlier in the week, the cat that the veterinarian somehow lost. How are you here? The cat stared back. From the expression on the cat's face, Margot half expected her to respond. But instead, Margot was left trying to fill in the blanks for how she ended up in her room. Her parents had a strict no-pet rule. She doubted her mother would have a sudden change of heart. I don't have a litter box, or cat food. She didn't know anything about taking care of a cat. She reached out to stroke the cat's back. The cat bobbed along with her hand. But I can't just leave you outside again. Margot's mother started knocking on the door, startling both Margot and the cat. Margot turned to the door, feeling herself panicking. How would she explain this? The doorknob turned and her mother walked in. Privacy! A knock is not an invitation, it's a request for permission. Are you awake? Margot tried sitting in front of the cat to buy herself time. Yes? Let me know when you're ready. Her mother turned and left. No reaction to the cat. Margot sat there, stunned and confused. There was no way just sitting up more actually hid the cat. She turned around to check on her. Nothing was there. Interesting that the night we see a ghost woman is the same time that we find the cat. That's very coincidental timing. It was shaping up to be another quiet day at work. Margot sorted through the files and after a while found herself creating little stories about each resident. She noticed how much their examinations varied. Some residents seemed to only be limited by physical complications. Others struggled with drawing a clock or not knowing what day it was. After a while, she went from imagining what each person was like to imagining what she would be like in old age. Is there any way to predict something like that? She didn't really know her grandparents or how they might have passed away, so she couldn't make any guesses based on that. It felt overwhelming. She shook her head, trying to clear her thoughts. She shouldn't think about this. She closed the file and stared ahead for a moment. In her bag, there was a dull buzzing noise. She grabbed her phone and flipped it open. There was a text from Nikki. Why didn't you tell me you're back? I had to find out from Lee. I didn't know you still talked to him. Margot felt her stomach twist with guilt. Nikki was right to be mad. She briefly wondered when Nikki would have run into Lee. I'm sorry, it's been really busy. Getting ready for college and working. It's only going to get busier. We've got to hang out now while we can. You're right. We could go to the mall this weekend. Have you been? No, it opened while I was gone. Cool, let's do that. Do we have to? I feel like she's going to chastise us for not telling her, but we're trying to be more outgoing is what she said. Let's try. Let's go and meet her. Okay, yeah. I'm so excited. I'll see you what day I'm free. Yay. Social obligations. When Margot got home, she thought about her conversation with Nikki. She realised she hadn't really checked her messages, emails, or anything since she got home. She had no idea if any old friends had been trying to reach her. She logged in and scrolled through some updates. A lot of it seemed to be about trips to beaches and lake houses, dorm shopping with parents. She felt a small pang. When she glanced at her new messages, there was a message request.
How?
She didn't recognize the name, but she couldn't help being curious. Helen, is your dad Victor Silva? I don't know, is he? I think we might be related. Margot reread the message. Then her gaze shifted to the name and image. She kept trying to figure out who this woman could be, if anything about her was familiar. Nothing came up. Maybe she could ask her mother? She wanted to get something from the kitchen anyway. In the living room, her mother was on the couch. Her mother anxiously leaned forward in her seat as she watched a show on the television. It was a VHS recording her mother made of a soap opera episode.
Mom?
I have a quick question. Mother waved her hand at Margot and paused the show. You know I'm watching my show. It only takes 45 minutes. She hit play again, signaling that the conversation was over. Margot continued to the kitchen. If Mom's not going to talk to us, we might as well go and get a snack, right? Feeling pretty tired, she put together a sandwich. She carefully inspected the bread, making sure ants hadn't gotten into it yet. After eating it in the kitchen, she quickly washed up the dishes and went back to her room. Thinking about the message, the cat, the text with Nikki, Margot started drifting off to sleep. She heard a loud sigh in the kitchen sink running so Mother re-washed the dishes. Okay, but rude much? June 11th. Thursday morning, our mum really doesn't seem to trust us, man. Like, we did the washing up and she went, no, actually I'm going to do that again. Like, was it really that bad? Margot, hurry up, come to the living room. Margot instantly woke up with the sound of her mother's voice.
What?
Well, what's going on? I need to tell you something very important. Okay. Margot threw her clothing on as quickly as possible, wondering what could be so urgent. She rushed out of her room. What is it? I won't be here tonight, so be sure to lock up and turn off the stove before you go to bed. Okay, what's up? You don't need to worry about that. Okay, cryptic much? She's just literally going to give us no information. Okay, sure. While walking to the veteran's home, Margot wondered why her mother could be going that night. Her mother had never spent the night out before. Her parents didn't really have friends they'd visit. What if she'd started dating? But it'd only been a couple of months. She needed to stop thinking about that stuff anyway. Okay, so suggestion here that our dad's not in our life, be he either just separated or maybe he passed away or something, but either way, it's only been a couple of months since whatever happened. She noticed a bush down the road rustling. Is it Kitty? There had been construction lately, and Margot didn't want to find out if there were scorpions around. She quickened her pace. As she passed the house, she heard a noise. A faint meow. It is Kitty! She turned around and saw a familiar friend in the middle of the sidewalk.
Hey!
You're everywhere, aren't you? The cat came up closer to her. Margot kneeled down to scratch her head. You keep running off. You live around here? The cat stared. Maybe I shouldn't expect a response from a cat. Margot stood back up.
Bye!
I'll see you later. I need to go to work. The cat lay down in the middle of the sidewalk, staring at Margot as she walked away. It was like I used to have a cat I used to see on the way to work all the time. I called him Milo and he was so cute and he saw me every single time I came by and was like, belly rubs, please. Margot looked out the window. It looked a little overcast, so Margot decided to go for a walk during her lunch break. Out in the surrounding neighbourhood, there was an abundance of oleander bushes in front of the homes. She remembered when she was little and being cautioned about how dangerous the plant was. There was so much from her childhood she couldn't remember. The most random of bits and details would occasionally surface. She'd forgotten the faces of any of her old friends, but she remembered begging her mum to let her cross the street when walking her to the bus stop so she could avoid even accidentally touching oleanders. She briefly thought about the weird things happening since she got home. That girl in her dream. The cat that seemed to disappear and reappear out of nowhere. Margot's phone started vibrating in her pocket. Margot pulled out her phone. Oh, it's Beck. I was expecting it to be Nikki. Hey, are you free after work today? I think so. What's up? We can hang out at the park or something. Absolutely. I will take seeing Beck over seeing Nikki because she's new, she's a cool friend, she seems pretty fun. Whereas Nikki is like, how dare you didn't tell me you came back? How come you're talking to Lee? And I'm like, oh, you sound like drama. I would rather go and see Beck, to be fair. Sure, I'll let you know when I finish work. Great, see you then. With another activity planned and a potential new friend, Margot was happy that the week seemed to be turning around. Margot sat down in the lobby and texted Beck that she was ready to head out. I'll be there soon. Margot briefly wondered if Beck might not show up at all. Why did she think that? After a while, her phone buzzed again. In the parking lot. Convertible. Of course she has a convertible. She's too cool for a normal car. Margot quickly picked up a bag and headed outside. Beck was parked in a spot near the entrance. When Margot spotted her, she started waving her over. Margot walked over and got in the passenger seat. It was a little older and dusty, but cozy with just 2 seats. Seeing Beck's car reminded Margot that she dreamed of getting her own convertible if she ever got a driver's license. She felt a little jealous.
Hey!
Ready to go? Oh, the glasses? Dude, Beck is so cool. She's got the glasses, the lip ring, she's got the double ear piercings with the stretcher, she's got the stud belt. She's exactly my vibe. Beck flashed a big grin at Margot. She looked at Beck, examining her own reflection in her sunglasses. Feeling a little sweaty and tired from the workday, she felt out of place in what she considered her dream car. Noticing her expression, Beck took off her sunglasses and gave Margot a curious look. Everything okay? Oh, sorry, realised I'm a little tired. I'm ready. Alright. After driving for a bit, Margot noticed they weren't in their neighbourhood anymore. She'd assumed they were going to the park down the street. Have you been to the Colorado River?
Yeah?
Why? I figured we could hang out there. Beats looking at the dead grass of the park here. Sure, as long as we're not actually going in the river. Beck laughed. No, I would have wanted you to bring a swimsuit in that case. Once they were out of the residential area, Beck turned on the radio. It was set to the only classic rock station that reached their town. Of course it is. Did you grow up here? Yeah, I only left for a couple of years for school.
Cool!
I lived here when I was a little kid, but then my parents started moving around a lot. My mum moved back to be closer to my grandma. I guess now that I'm going off to college, she wants to be around her. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm kind of surprised by how much it feels the same as I remember. Whoa, I'm impressed you remember all that from when you were little. I only remember bits and pieces. I have a pretty good memory. Since you were gone for a while, does it feel any different being home? Busy in a good way, or it's been hard? We do seem to be struggling, to be honest with you, because it's like we're getting texted by Lee and Nikki and we're kind of 50-50 on whether we want to meet up with them. We've been talking about going back to the library and like seeing our old pictures, and being back around our mum again seems to be hard. So I feel like I can open up to her. I'm gonna say it's been hard. No, I'm not used to living at home anymore. It's been kind of hard. I feel like I'm waiting around for my life to start again when I move away. Well, hopefully getting out of the house today will help a bit. Maybe. They parked at the nature reserve and picked a well-worn trail near the water. I forgot there were nature areas like this. It's all desert in town, you know? Yeah, I really like it out here. By the way, are you not much of a swimmer? Why do you ask? Beck smiled lightly. You seemed worried about it earlier. Margot felt embarrassed. I'm not a strong swimmer. Maybe I could teach you. I mean, I wouldn't be averse to it. They walked for a bit, with Beck stopping at each new sign about the local flora. Her face seemed to light up as she eagerly looked around to find each plant. She crouched down, closely examining a cluster of flowers.
Margot!
Look at this one. Margot crouched down beside her. It was an unfamiliar white and purple flower. Is it another kind of paintbrush flower? Nope, this is a pretty rare one. An Arizona passion flower. Like passion fruit? Yep. I'm surprised this is here. It only grows in a different part of the state. I wonder how it got here. Only the plant knows. I wish I brought a camera or something. I could draw it? Really? Oh, heck yes. We're an artist, of course we can do this. We don't have a camera, we're gonna make a sketch and we're gonna give it to our new bestie. I am here for it. Margot took out her sketchbook and made a quick gestural drawing. Beck watched. I can't believe you can just do that. Margot smiled. After a bit, they emerged from a grown-over area to a more curated park with a snack stand. The area was pretty packed. Most of the seating seemed to be taken, and the stand had a long line. Margot suddenly felt aware of how late it was getting, and wondered if her mother would be upset if she came home late. She ain't even gonna be there. Pretty sure she said that she wasn't gonna be out and she wanted us to lock up, right? She's gone for the night. I'll get us something. What will you do? Offer to buy instead or find a spot to sit? We can get the next one. We'll just have to meet up again another day, you know? I'm down for it. Like, what a shame. You bought this one. I'm just gonna have to pay you back next time. Let's go find somewhere to sit. The area's pretty full. Empty armadas were in low supply. I can find a spot to sit. Is that okay? Yep, good luck out there. Margot handed Beck some cash for her half and wandered off to find a spot. See, look, we were already paying for our part as well, so I'm here for it. After a moment, Beck came back. She handed her the extra change. Could I? I didn't see this bench. She patted Margot's shoulder. Oh, I want to see your drawing again. Sure. Margot pulled out her sketchbook and laid it open for Beck. I can't believe this took you, what, minutes? Beck watched as Margot flipped through her sketchbook.
Do you want to be an artist?
I think so. Maybe I could do comics or something.
That would be so cool. What kind of comics?
Probably something supernatural. Ghost and stuff.
It felt so easy to spend this afternoon with Beck. Margot wondered if Beck might think she was being too friendly with her. After a bit more exploring, they headed back to the car. So we walked around a nature park, we did some drawing which she told us she liked, we had some food together. I think this was a pretty good first date. The night air during the drive felt refreshing after spending the afternoon in the sun. An interview with the band played on the radio. When they got closer to Margot's neighbourhood, the familiar sights made her snap back to reality.
Beck?
Margot, can we park at the shopping centre and walk to my place? No problem. The neighbourhood felt completely still. It felt like the only noise was their footsteps. Margot looked at Beck. She seemed deep in thought. Ask what she's thinking, or she's probably tired. No, we've had a good day. I feel like we can open up. We told her we've been having a difficult time in the neighbourhood. We've shown her some drawings. I feel like she'd be open to this conversation.
Hey.
What's on your mind? Beck was looking up at the sky. The stars aren't like this in the rest of the country. Margot looked up as well. She hadn't noticed before, but the sky was bright with stars. She wondered how it compared to the sky over her future school. You haven't lived in another state before, right? No, my private school wasn't that far away. Do you think you'll miss Arizona when you move? I don't know yet. I'll miss my friends, but I can text them. You probably have a boyfriend, right? Would you have to do long distance? Margot blushed. Why did she feel nervous about Beck asking her that? I don't... Really? I was too busy with school, or what about you? No, I was going to ask about you. Yeah, it just didn't work out. What about you? Do you have a boyfriend? That's not really my thing. Dating? There was a loud yowl and hiss at their feet. I have a feeling she wasn't talking about dating. I have a feeling she was probably talking about boys. Beck leapt away. Shit! Go away! Go away! She scrambled to scare away the cat in front of them. Beck's efforts were rewarded with more hissing. Oh, that's my new friend. No, I hate it! She kept waving her hands at the cat and almost getting scratched. Hey, I think if you just relax, she'll stop. Beck seemed to be near tears. Make it go away! Margot kneeled down next to the cat. She couldn't stand by while both Beck and the cat were getting more and more agitated. Hey, you. The cat leaned in to rub her face on Margot's hand, but still growling. I need you to be nice to Beck, okay? Margot picked her up and scurried to the other side of the road to plop her on the sidewalk there. The cat sat down and rolled into her side, staring at them. Margot returned to Beck, who was breathing deeply. She's clearly afraid of this cat. Good on Margot for just calmly removing the cat and walking away. I think we're safe now. I barely believe you. They walked another block with no cat in sight, and Beck eased up. Well, I'm sorry for ending the night on that note. It's fine. Oh, I thought of something. Do you like museums? I love museums. There's some local ones we could go to, check out some pioneering tools, that sort of thing. Margot smiled at her. Oh, I'd like that. Beck stopped for a moment. She looked at Margot with a nervous expression. She glanced down.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Can I hold your hand?
Yes. Oh. Margot wanted to be excited, but Margot looked around. I hope I didn't assume too much. Margot looked back at her. No, it's not that. They're at the end of her block, close enough to see her home. She noticed the lights were off and remembered her mother was out for the night. But what if her mother was home after all? Margot remembered the couple of times friends did come near the trailer. Afterwards, her mother would scold her about the culture shock of seeing it, or start asking who they were and if Margot was trying to sneak them into her room. What if her mother was home but kept the lights off? It wouldn't have been the first time. Hold her hand, of course, or be cautious. I think at this point, as much as we don't want to disappoint our mum, we're at the stage now, we're an adult, we live our own life, and if mum doesn't like it, mum's just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Beck took Margot's hand and smiled. I really should have asked earlier. Margot blushed and lightly squeezed Beck's hand. The hand felt much more delicate than Margot expected. Eventually, they reached Margot's. So, this is your place? Margot wasn't sure what Beck would think, seeing that she lived in a trailer. Yeah, sorry for making us walk. It's fine, I get it. You're embarrassed of me. No, it's nothing like that. I forgot my mum wasn't home. Beck laughed. You know that sounds worse, right? Margot cringed, making Beck laugh some more. I'm kidding. Beck let go of Margot's hand to hop the brick fence in front of her home. They paused for a moment in the front porch. Thanks for walking me home, even if it wasn't necessary. And thanks for saving me from wild animals. Beck stood there for a beat, looking at Margot. She felt like Beck was scrutinizing her expression, deciding what to do next. The infamous standing on the porch after a good date scene, where it's like, do we lean in for a kiss? Do we arrange another date? What are we supposed to do here? Alright, I'll say goodbye. This is really nice. I thought so too. Text me when you get home? Of course. After a moment, she left the porch, hopped over the fence, and walked off into the night. Margot stood outside, watching her walk away. When she was out of sight, Margot walked inside and locked the sliding glass door. She felt a sudden jolt of fear. What if her mother was home? It was already a huge risk just talking to Beck on the porch, let alone, what if her mother saw? But it remained quiet inside. Her stomach growled. She forgot about having dinner. Realizing how hungry she was, she went to the kitchen to see if there was anything quick she could make. When she opened the cabinets, they were all empty. She checked the pantry for paper plates, but couldn't find any. Margot sighed to herself. She turned the lights back off and stood in front of the glass door. She looked at the stars in the sky, thinking about the sensation of Beck's fingers interlaced with hers. Right, we're on June 12th. It's Friday morning, so probably one more day of work, I imagine, maybe. When Margot checked the living room in the morning, her mother wasn't there. The dishes were still hidden away. Unsure of what to do for breakfast, Margot decided she could get something on the way to work. All morning, Margot had been sorting files. The process already felt automatic to her. Margot kept rereading the text from Beck. Got home safe. Wished we could have stayed out later. Couldn't Beck talk to anyone she wanted? Why Margot? Erica walked into the office as Margot finished up the last file from her current stack. Margot, would you be interested in meeting some of the residents?
Yeah.
Of course. This floor has some great folks. It's mostly people who choose to live here because of health problems. Oh, I see. I spent some time walking around, Erica introducing some of the residents. There were 2 women who were medics in World War II, some men playing card games. Margot made a mental note of the information about everyone. After a while, they returned to the office. Margot continued sifting through paperwork and noticed her phone buzzing. Hey, sorry it's been a while. Want to see a movie tonight? I feel like we've done so much socializing. I kind of do want to go because I want to see Lee. Like, me as Maddie wants to see more about Lee, but I don't know if we would have the social energy for this. Plus, our mum's going to be home tonight is the other thing. Mum was out last night, so we could have spent some extra time with Beck, but potentially she's going to be back home tonight. If it was like during the day, maybe, but knowing what she's like, I feel like we should maybe not go and see him. Just for now. We can maybe on the weekend during the day we can go, but I feel like after work today, I don't know. I'm sorry, Lee, but I feel like we need to have tonight to ourselves. Sorry, I don't think I'll be able to tonight. Please? I want to catch up more with you. Okay. So we said no and he convinced us to say yes anyway, okay. Margot stood in the theatre lobby, shifting her weight from one foot to the other. It looked like she arrived before he did. Where was he? She scanned the room, slowly becoming more and more stressed about being there alone. Margot, hey! Margot turned around, surprised to hear Jade's voice. They had class together before Margot had left. She forgot Jade worked at the movie theatre.
Hey!
How are you? I'm great. Jade pointed at her badge. I'm a manager now. Whoa, congrats. Yeah, kind of a shame I have to quit when I go to college. Speaking of, I thought you already left. Sort of. I'm working here for the summer. Oh, cool. Where? The Veterans Home? I heard it was hard to get a job there. Yeah, that's pretty lucky. Well, it's through a state program. Before Margot could tell Jade more, she heard someone else call her name. Early as always, Margot? I think you might just be late. Lee rolled his eyes, his hand reaching in his pocket for his wallet. Jade, can I get 2 tickets for evening at the zoo too? Evening at the zoo? Yeah, 2. Please, I don't have anyone else to see this movie with. Margot sighed, defeated. Lee was not great at accepting no as an answer, as was proven by the fact that we said no, we can't tonight, and he said please, 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 and then we basically said yes. Like, oh, okay, he's gonna be one of those, I see. They went into the theatre room. It was empty. The movie had already been out for a while. Lee picked 2 seats in the centre near the back of the theatre, obviously the best spot to go and watch a movie. As Margot sat down, Lee stretched his arms out. Oh, don't do the move. There it is. His hand came to rest on Margot's shoulder. Come on, Lee, read the room. They sat in silence for a while as the movie played. He seemed to be thinking about something rather than paying attention to the movie. He cleared his throat. Did your dad die? Bruh, you can't just bring that up in the middle of a fucking movie, dude. Once again, I say, read the room. Margot immediately felt her heart racing. She wasn't ready for that kind of conversation. Where did you hear that? Around town. Margot shifted in her seat. You used to call me and talk about that stuff before you disappeared. She stared ahead at the movie. How do you feel? I don't know. Margot turned to look at Lee. For a moment, they stared at each other. Margot studied his face, trying to understand how he felt. Then he started laughing. I never liked that guy anyway. Is he serious? He's like, yo, did your dad die? I didn't like him anyway, so you know, it's fine. I don't even know how to, I don't know how to react to that. Just, I wish I hadn't come to this movie. Why did we have to say yes? This was all awkward. I want to go home now. Margot frowned, moving her shoulder to shake his hand off. Come on, Margot. I'm not being mean. I want to know if you're okay. Yeah, you kind of are being mean, though. Yeah, I'm fine. Her voice was tense. Why don't we watch the movie? We're the only ones here. It doesn't matter if we talk. They both went silent. You're missing my point, Lee. I want to watch the movie so that we don't have to talk, because when you open your mouth, you say things that you probably shouldn't say. I think what I miss the most about having you around is you always held me accountable. What are you talking about? You're the only person who ever said I could leave here, get a nursing degree or something. He moved his arm from behind Margot to his chair rest. And you're the only girl who will tell me to shut up. Yeah, I will. You need to shut the fuck up, dude. He nervously drummed his fingers. I don't know what I'm getting at. His hand moved to Margot's knee. No! Lee, stop. Started to move further up her leg. Seriously, Lee, stop. She pushed his arm away. Good job, Margot. And what's wrong? Would you quit it? He turned away and folded his arms. And now he's gonna pout because we rejected him. They were silent again. Fine, whatever. We're gonna have a smoke. Yeah, you go have that smoke. We won't be here when you get back. He got up. Margot watched him walk down the aisle and to the exit. She turned back to the screen. What could she do? She felt the anxiety building up again. Watching the movie wasn't going to help. She pulled out her phone for distraction. After a while, she started to wonder if he was coming back. She didn't care about the movie anyway. She could probably head home, right? Margot got up, retracing Lee's steps out of the room and into the hallway. In the hall, she could hear someone muttering to himself. Did I go the wrong way? Beck stood by a wall, looking at a ticket. Beck? She looked up and smiled. Oh, hey! Beck gave Margot a coy smile. Out on a date? I think he thinks it is, but I really don't want to be here, so... Margot grimaced.
No.
Not exactly. I should let you get to your movie. Beck gave Margot a curious look. Is something wrong? You seem kind of stressed out. Margot waved her hand. I'm just trying to find my friend that I came here with. That doesn't sound good. Do you need a ride home or something? I'll be fine. I don't want to impose or anything. Don't worry about it. She looked down at her ticket. I'm not excited about this movie anyway. I just didn't feel like being at home. Which movie is it? Evening at the Zoo 2? It's not good. Dang. Since you're the artist, I should probably trust your opinion. I guess it's too highbrow for me. Well, in any case, definitely let me know if you need a ride. Margot nodded. They parted ways as Beck went into the theatre room and Margot went to the lobby. Jade was still at the ticket counter, but no one else was around. Jade noticed Margot and waved her over. Hey, did you get my text?
Huh?
Text? Margot pulled out her phone to check. Nothing from Jade. Or Lee. Guess not. Darn. I saw Lee earlier. I think I heard him arguing with someone. Then he told me how pissed he was and that he was going home. Of course he fucking did. He asked us out. We said no. He didn't take no for an answer, so we came anyway. Then he made a joke about our dead dad, put his hand in places that we didn't give him consent to, and then got pissed and left after we rejected him. Wow, Lee. Wow. Seriously? Yeah. My shift ends in a bit if you want to ride home. Jade smiled weakly at Margot. Ride with Jade or ride with Beck? I appreciate you, Jade, but it's okay. I don't think Beck really wants to see this movie anyway. She just, as she said, she didn't want to be home, so I think she'd appreciate the distraction. We've already spent some time with her. We trust her. We know her vehicle. We know that she knows how to get home. And to be honest, I think after this situation with Lee, I would feel more comfortable with Beck because I'm like, then we can tell her what happened and be like, yo, that was not cool. So
No.
I have one lined up. Thanks, though. No problem. We should hang out sometime. I think I like Jade. She seems nice. Yeah. Want me to park down the block again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure my mum's home. They walked for a bit. Can I be nosy? Margot fiddled with her hair. Sure. What happened with you and your friend? I think I pissed him off. Do you want to talk about it? I don't want to bother you. You're not? Okay. Margot sighed. He's an ex from high school. Okay, that's possibly why he feels entitled as we used to date. And he's like, oh yeah, you're back, cool, you're just gonna accept me. Like, fuck off, Lee, no. He was being weird, so I told him to stop. So, is he normally like that? Yeah. Why hang out with him then? Well, we tried to say no, but there's apparently just something about him that we struggle to say no to. I thought we could be friends. Thought there might still be something there. No, there's nothing there. I don't want there to be anything there. He's giving really bad energy, so I thought we could be friends. I guess I hoped I could still be friends with him. He helped me with some stuff in the past, so I know he's not all that bad. But I don't know. I feel stupid. There's nothing wrong with trying to see the best in people. You think so? Yeah, that's very admirable. Margot smiled. Beck smiled back. She nervously rubbed her neck. I'm a little relieved. About what? That you're just friends with that guy? So... Beck's head turned, her attention on something else. Huh? Margot looked in the same direction, at her home. The window blinds were shifting around. Oh no! Mum's watching us. Is that your mum? Yeah. Beck nodded. I'll head back then. Sorry, Beck. As soon as Margot entered the front yard, her mother slid open the porch door. Get in here, it's late. Margot looked down the block, watching Beck turn the corner and disappear. So, who's that? Your new little friend? Margot went to her bedroom. Fine then. Yeah, I don't have to answer you. Yes, I have friends. I'm allowed to have friends. Margot finally had a morning where she woke up feeling rested and ready for the day. She quickly threw on some clothing and went to the kitchen for breakfast. However, in her good mood, she forgot the dishes were gone. After trying every cabinet, she realised she would need to ask her mother. Margot walked to her room. She hesitated at the door. She wasn't sure if her mother was still home or awake yet. One of those makes it easy to find dishes, she thought. Margot knocked at the door.
Mom?
What is it? Her mother shouted from the other side of the door. Where are the dishes? You need to use a paper plate. I'm tired of washing dishes. We don't have any paper plates. Yes, we do. Where? What do you need? A bowl and spoon, I guess? There was some rummaging, then the door cracked open. Her mother held out a paper bowl and plastic spoon. Here. She shook them at Margot. Take it. I'm going back to bed. What should you do? Stand up for yourself or accept it? This is a tough question because I do feel like we need to stand up to our mother more. But this feels like a weird situation in which to do it. I feel like we should have just done it last night. But now standing up for herself about a paper plate, like we're just making food. This feels like a weird time to do it. I think for our peace of mind right now, we just accept the paper plate. I do want to stand up for ourselves, but I don't think this is the time to do it. Just take the thing, have some food, we'll yell at her later. Margot gave up. None of these conversations were new, but they always felt like they were opening a fresh wound. No amount of success in the world seemed to be enough to affect her home life. Coming home to the trailer meant she was no one again. Margot took the bowl and spoon. Her mother shut the door. Margot wanted to stomp, to scream. As she walked away, she looked down at the ground beneath her. It was just a wooden board, covering a sunken spot in the floor. She couldn't stomp anyway. She couldn't do anything. She kept thinking about how different things were just a month ago in her private school. How different they will be in a couple of months from now. She just had to wait it out. Honestly, I think that's the best thing we can do right now in this particular situation. Like, there's a certain time and place for us to stand up for ourselves. If she has a go at us again for bringing a friend home, then that's an appropriate time, I feel, to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm allowed friends, I'm allowed a life, but deal with that side of it as best you can, but fight your corner on the more personal things. Margot shook her head. She needed to distract herself. She needed to focus on getting ready for work and leaving. If she just stayed focused. Walking to work, Margot noticed the streets were particularly empty. She got to work just to be faced with an empty parking lot. No one was there. She checked her phone. It was Saturday. She had gotten up early and fought for a bowl, and she didn't even have work that day. Looking around at the empty lot, she felt drained. She thought about what to do. She was already dressed and outside, so she headed to the park. Maybe some time alone would be nice? Margot found an empty spot to sit at the park. She pulled out her sketchbook and flipped to an empty page. It felt a little bit like she was in elementary school again, sitting at recess hoping someone would come and join her. She looked out over the landscape, trying to think of what to draw. Next to her there was some clattering. The cat had jumped up on the bench. Can we draw the cat?
Hey.
Hey, friend. Margot reached out to pet her, but the cat dodged her hand. She hopped down and started circling the bench, pausing to stare at Margot. Is Kitty sizing us up? Something about the cat's expression unnerved Margot. I had a theory earlier on that maybe the cat is the girl that we saw at the end of the bed, and we saved the cat, and because we saved the cat, she went, I see, we have somebody who will be willing to help me, and transformed into the cat when she's around us, but then came to us as herself. I don't know if it's true, but the way she's looking at us, it feels unlike a normal cat behavior. It felt like a person was staring at her. Do you need something? She continued to run a few feet away, paused to look at Margot, who came back. Do you want me to follow you? Margot started packing her bag and got up. The cat immediately ran ahead. Margot followed. They left the park, going further and further into the desert. After a while, Margot started to worry, looking around for scorpions and snakes. In the distance, a bit ahead of them, she saw something. As they kept approaching, she started to make out what it was. The cat stopped beside it, looking at her expectantly. It looked like an old rusted car from the 80s or 90s. On the exterior body, Margot could see holes in it. She wondered if they were bullet holes. The cat pawed at the door. Did the cat wanted to open it? Do you have kittens in there or something? It looked so rusty, Margot was skeptical it could be opened. Margot thought of her dream. I will show you how to help me. Margot shook her head. What could be the harm? The cat was frantic, circling around Margot and rubbing on her legs. Alright. Open it? Yes. I mean, even if we had the choice to say no, 100% I'm opening this. Something, maybe morbid curiosity, compelled her. She grabbed the handle and tried to force it open. It was stuck, as expected. She put more force into it, bracing a leg against the side of the car. Eventually, it opened, sending Margot toppling to the ground. Ow. She got up and brushed herself off. The cat had already jumped into the car and was nudging at something. Margot got closer and leaned into the car. A large, leather-bound Bible lay in the driver's seat. The cat was desperately pawing at it and meowing. At first, it looked like a normal Bible. Margot picked it up and looked at the first page. Oh, that's not a normal Bible. Who's been drawing, pentagrams? I feel like if I say that out loud, I'm about to summon something, so good luck, everyone. Eritus sicut Deus, scientes bonum et malum, was written in careful flowing script. A large, unusual symbol was drawn over the remainder of the page. It was a hexagram with details that Margot couldn't quite make out. She started flipping through it. In the margins, there were handwritten notes. The notes didn't look like they were about the Bible passages at all. Instead, the writing was strange. Origins of the world, recipes for things she didn't understand, instructions on how to deal with creatures she'd never heard of before. It felt terrifying. It reminded her of some of the books in her father's shed. After flipping for a few pages, the cat yowled. Margot stopped and looked at the notes on the page.
To understand the voice of an animal, must be bitten by the animal, place the blood on a music box, and while the music plays, the animal will be able to speak if they wish to?
She muttered the instructions to herself, looking between the page and the cat.
Huh? Is this real?
The cat stared at her. This has to be a coincidence. There can't be a cat showing me how to make animals talk. I'm trapped. Could it be related? It seemed too supernatural. Even when she was a kid, she was really into the supernatural. Her favourite childhood movies usually involved ghosts, monsters, and vampires. She vaguely remembered having a friend who was convinced that Margot was a vampire. At the time, Margot really wanted to believe they were right. It meant that she could have a bigger, more interesting life outside of her trailer. She could be whisked away on some grand adventure. She felt embarrassed thinking about that time. Was she really so gullible? Reading the notes in the book, why did she so desperately want everything in front of her to be real? She stared into the cat's eyes. What if she was just asleep, her head down on the park table, having another lucid dream? What would it mean for her if this was real? Would it give purpose to her life? It would certainly be interesting. Margot's bedroom was getting dimmer. She didn't realise how long she'd been laying in bed. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up and rolled onto her back, holding the screen over her face. It's tomorrow, good for the mall. Okay, Nikki. Sure, what time? Around 12? Okay. Hopefully Nikki's not gonna get mad at us for the fact that we rejected Lee. It could be an awkward conversation with her, but whatever, we'll see how it goes. Nikki used to be notoriously late all the time to everything. Mongo wondered if her habits had changed and when she should actually expect Nikki to arrive. She put her phone down and rolled back onto her stomach, continuing to read through the notes in the book. And we are going to leave it here for today. We have played through the first 7 in-game days available in the demo. There is much more available. If you want to see any more of this, please do let me know and we will definitely bring it to this channel. Otherwise, we might stream it over on Twitch. If you want to go and follow my Twitch page, we do a lot of these kind of games over there. And that was where we were doing the Choose Wisely Festival for most of our other gameplay. So if you want to go and see any of those things, we have a VOD YouTube channel. They will eventually be posted there as well. But we do also do these things live quite often. So like I say, go and find that if you're interested in more. And if anybody's curious how much more of this game there is, the game is currently available in early access. That's about 10 hours worth of gameplay spanning from June 7th until about August 4th, and the full game is from June 7th until September 1st. So it's about 200,000 words, 20 plus hours worth of gameplay. I'm so stoked, I'm really excited, and I would love to play more of this if you guys are interested in seeing some more on this channel. I very much enjoyed this early snippet, getting to know the different characters, putting together some idea of our home life and our friendships, and really kind of building a good foundation. Obviously, we are haunted by the ghost of a girl who potentially is this cat that has sent us to go and find a demon book. That's the whole part of the story I'm really interested in. Curious to see how the rest of our home life is going to go and how that's going to expand and potentially explode in the future. And also very interested in spending more time with Beck. As per usual, all of the information is down in the description below. Go and find the Steam page, the socials for the devs in the game. Now though, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below, and remember, it's always tea time somewhere in the world. Bye bye.